The other tactic, and the good teams with experience do, is they make sure they don't tire themselves out on a Wednesday, and so they keep, maybe running at 75% where they can, and then you see a completely different team stroll out. We're now into the knockout phases. This is the men's quarter-final World Cup, and we're getting down to the business end of the tournament. I think from now on it's full on. So I'll be very interested to see how Shogun go.
Yeah, really excited. So here we go, folks. Two teams coming out. Scottish Exiles.
Shogun Rugby and Taikoo plays Scottish Exiles.
And then Shogun. Shogun in the black. Scottish Taikoo, Scottish Exiles in the white. So the teams, just the final preparations, just, talking to each other, saying, boys, come on, we need this, we want this is knockout. Let's go.
It's a daunting side to look at, actually, the Shogun team. I'm just looking at it, there's talent right across that
there
team.
is.
Speed, pace and skills.
So Captain Tom Wilson will kick off for Hong Kong Scottish Taikoo Exiles. And here we are underway. Nice high ball from Captain Wilson, taken down by Shogun, looking to move it straight away with their playmakers. That's a nice ball out of the hands and a good strong carry. Referee says no, you're not offside. Wilson says I'm going to have a bit of that, but the clear out comes in. Strong clear out from Shogun, looking to move the ball wide now, and they do. They've got a playmaker out there and a big strong winger.
I'd say the intensity has gone up by 50%, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would say. Very accurate in the pass, but he's lost that ball in contact, but the referee says no, he hasn't, he regained it, which is interesting. So they get a chance to create some more phase here. Shogun, they're going about their business very efficiently. They're now up to the 10-yard mark in Scottish Exile territory. Moving in out here on this near side. Again, just happy to take the ball up, recycle, rephase, nothing fancy. Couple of missed tackles there by Scottish. They're now having to really put the effort in and make these tackles. They're hard men to bring down, the Shogun men. Again, going to ground, recycled. Moving it up the middle. Just now they're in the 22. Shogun looking ominous here. Their work rate is really, really high, and that's just efficient. And finally the try is scored. Sofal Maka, number 6, Sofal Maka, first try.
That was
for Shogun.
Pretty direct.
That was pretty impressive, Don.
Yep. But as we said earlier, that the intensity's gone up. It really now matters every second of the game. These guys are looking. They need to put points on the board from the Shogun point of view. Get them on there, get them on early so they can control the game. They don't want any shocks. And now you'll see Scottish Exiles coming back, wanting to make their own mark in this game.
Yeah, well said. So, try unconverted by Shogun. 5-0. And that kick, I don't think has gone 10, but it's been taken by Scottish, so the referee says play on. Scottish with the initiative now, ball to ground, looking to recycle, and they do. Moving it wide, and they've got numbers. Have they got hands? Yes, they have. It's in the captain's hand. Wilson moves it on the outside. Great work by Roo Campbell. Takes it to ground. Wilson again. Playmaker, move low, and that's a long pass. The referee says that's okay. Out to their speedster. Scottish looking good here. Good, efficient movement of the ball from both sides of the field. Wilson again. Numbers. Oh, but like a thief in the night. Like a thief in the night. Number 2. Harrison King. Rather, Ian Stevens, I should say. Ian Stevens.
Well, mate, that's 10s rugby for you,
Ian
isn't
Stevens. That's impressive. And, you know, that's, I mean, Don, that's always a 50-50, that one. You know, do you go for it? Do you not go for it? You've got to be confident, because if you miss it, you go to the bin. Hey, fortune favours the brave.
Yes, I mean, Scottish were doing everything coming back into the game, putting real pressure on, making space, looking good for a try there.
I thought
one intercept.
They were creating some good phases, and yeah, as you say, you know, looking equally as good as Shogun in terms of attack. Conversion misses, so 2 tries to 0. So Shogun lead Scottish Exiles, Taikoo Scottish Exiles here at the Hong Kong Football Club, Tradition 10s.
Yeah, and Exiles will have to pick themselves up again. I mean, they showed they can do it. You know, and that's an unlucky, but it's also part of the 10s game. So they're going to. The ball is kicked to them. They've got possession. Let's do a bit more of what they were doing before, and maybe cut out that last pass to the intercept. But
so just waiting for. We've got a bit of a knock. Number 4, Michael Loft. Michael Loft is featured in a few 10s tournaments. Great player, great servant for Shogun. So Shogun kick off, nice high ball, but well taken by Roo Campbell. Scottish get it out to their playmakers, looking to move it wide, but there's a big line speed there. Was great from Shogun. Still trying to get an exit here. Scottish, that's a loose ball, but well picked up by their big winger. And Shogun equal to the task on defence, looking for a quick throw in, but the referee's picked something up here.
And there seems to be an injury as well.
I think he's picked up something, maybe he's picked something up from the assistant referee, and he's going back to chat with him now. Yep, so that was a short arm. That's a great kick. That's a 50-metre gain for Taikoo Scottish Exiles, but it will be Shogun throw-in because it was a short arm penalty, or free kick, I should say.
Yeah, well, this is where they want to be from the Exiles point of view.
Absolutely, and they've got to put pressure on the line out, but it's well executed, and a very, very good seated ball there. But he's pulled up lame, and he'll be absolutely shattered with that. And Scottish Exiles say, well, we don't really care because we just want to play. And but it's a helter-skelter, and really this is where Scottish, they don't need to be doing that kind of play.
They had on the ground all over.
They had the advantage, Scottish, there, and unfortunately they just, I think it was a bit of sudden, you know, rush of blood to the head, and they could see that Shogun were under the pump with a man down, and you know, they're breathing quite heavily, Shogun, so it's hard for both sides. But yeah, the initiative could have been taken there by Scottish Exiles, and it wasn't.
Just at one moment there were 4 people on the ground looking for medical attention. There's one guy from Exiles is limping off the pitch. We've got the hamstring, or some issue going on, a lower back issue there.
So I mean, the physio's there and he's doing the work, moving his legs backwards and forwards. But you know, I look at that guy and I think, you know, man, he got shot by the mystery sniper, but it looks like he's getting back up. Maybe it was just cramp.
I think you're right.
Yeah, number 14, Nick Mulley. We want to see him stay on the field, but he's limping. No, he's coming off. Nick Mulley coming off. His game goes on. Play goes on. Scottish looking to get some momentum going here, get some phases going. Held up, it goes to ground. It'll be a recycle to Scottish. Exiles comes back to their playmaker. He puts a long kick down into Shogun 22. They've got to go all the way back. There's some good chasing going on here. And he's undecided. What's he going to do? That's great. That's a great gain for Scottish. They've got to keep Shogun down here, though, if they want to make that pay off. And they do. Great line speed, but the referee says, no, you're just too quick. Just too quick off the line. Right idea. Just unfortunately not quite well executed.
Yeah, I think we call it aggressive defence, and it's the only way you're going to knock Shogun off the game.
So, relieving penalty for Shogun. They opt to kick it into touch. A raking kick downfield into the wind. 30-metre gain. And they get the throw into the line out. You know, they're not having it all their own way, Don. I mean, you look at these players, you know, they're all breathing heavily and they're, you know, they're having to do a lot of work, and it's quite humid out there. So, you know, this is far from 10-0 first half, far from over this game. So, Shogun successful in the line out. Give it to their big man in the centre, taking it up. But well met on defence by Scottish. Still with Shogun. But again, Don, like you said, that aggressive defence, that's working. It's working really for Scottish.
Couldn't agree more. That and it's even though it's the quarterfinals and everything, Scottish, who you would expect to be losing heavily, are coming out really, really strongly, and they showed signs of it yesterday. They do have the talent to do this, and when you get up against a side like Shogun. No side likes being playing against defences like this, and it's producing the ball and giving the ball back to Scottish. So great to see.
Scrum down here, Scottish defensive scrum here. This will be the last play of the game, I would imagine. Time up on the clock. So what are Scottish going to do? I think they're just going to decide to kick for the touch, and they do, and that's a great kick. What does the referee say? No, he's looked at his watch. He says, no, I'm going to take one more line out. So one more initiative for Scottish. They've got to get this line out right and get some phases together. They're capable. So ball in, but Shogun too good on their set piece. Take it to ground, and I imagine they looking to recycle, and they do. That's a strong carry and a great clean out. Scottish, I'm not sure whether they were onside there, but the referee hasn't picked it. This is aggressive defence once again. They're giving them no room. Their line speed's good. Scottish Exiles. Shogun finding it very, very difficult. It's pretty rugged in there. Referee says no. Bit of back chat, Don. Bit of back chat.
Yes,
I don't want the back chat. So a relieving penalty to Shogun. It's a shame. I
think
for Scottish.
Shogun are they're gonna kick it out, because that's been a bruising half. Oh yeah.
That is an outstanding kick, and probably from my seat, that's probably one of the kicks of the tournament so far, especially the timing and where it is. And this gives Shogun another opportunity to maybe put some more points on the board before the half-time break.
Yeah, it looks as though they didn't want a piece of it, but they certainly do now.
And their line-out's working really well. And they've got a maul going here. Shogun, they know what they're about. And that's just 1, 2, 3. That's training ground play right there, Don. Good execution, great execution.
And give them all their due. That's changed the whole complex and look of the match. Going up 15-17-0 will be a tremendous difference from 10-0 with a streaky intercept try. And it puts them in the controlling position for Shogun.
So that's half-time, folks. The try was unconverted. So Shogun lead Taikoo Scottish Hong Kong Exiles 15 points to 0.
Yeah, I think they're showing a bit of experience, and you know, you would expect them to do well, but they're now in a controlling position. I've been very impressed with Scottish, though. They've especially their defence and how they're putting pressure on them all the time. So it'd be good to see they get a bit of luck and maybe a couple of tries just to bring themselves back into the game would be what my team talk would be about. What do you reckon?
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, no, I think, you know, if I'm the Scottish coach, I think, you know, there was not a lot wrong with what they did, and I think it was just more the precision play and the phase play from Shogun that really got them to where they are on the scoreboard. But it's probably not a true reflection, I have to say. I think, you know, Scottish had their opportunity, you know, when they were down in the 22, but they unfortunately weren't able to convert, and they will be ruining that chance. So it shows that they can actually get down there and create those opportunities when they keep the ball in hand. And I think they've got to keep up the aggressive defence.
Yes.
You know, and stop and just, you know, they've got to score first, second half, and they've got to stop Shogun from scoring. So it's about controlling the ball security, not giving it away cheaply, and you know, it's you know, one score, one try, and they're back in the match. Yeah,
I mean, you'd probably say if you were the coach, you'd go carry on with what you're doing. Just be a little bit tighter. It really is that. It's a simple game sometimes, but this is a really big. There's some big hits going on, and yeah, I know we're in the cup quarter final, but it really does show. So here we go.
So restart. Shogun, nice high ball down into the corner, but well taken by Scottish Exiles as they look to move it wide. Wilson moving it out into the middle. That's a high ball. That's gone over his head. That puts pressure on the guy outside him, but he takes it cleanly and goes to ground. He's under pressure here, though. He's under big pressure. The counter ruck was good from Shogun, and now Scottish find themselves under all sorts of pressure early on second half. Shogun looking to recycle. They can go either way, but they decide to take it back into the middle, give it to their big men. Again, the recycling ability of the Shogun side is to behold. They're very, very quick on the recycle. That's a loose ball, though, and it's been picked up by Scottish. And then overran, giving the initiative back to Shogun. Yeah. But that was clever play, I've got to say, heads-up play by the Scottish player there, because you'd think he'd come from an offside position, but he didn't. He was in general play, and that meant that they were awarded the penalty. But then they've decided after that 2 phases, and they've coughed it up. So again, Don, just those little things, those little bits and pieces, those little pressure points, they tell, don't they, in these types of games?
Quite surprising number of mistakes. There is a bit of wind today and things like that, and the humidity isn't that high yet, but for teams of this calibre, you don't expect them to be dropping.
I think it's probably testament to the intensity of the match.
Very much.
You know, to you know, pretty fit, pretty athletic teams, players looking to fight for every inch of ground and every ball. And when you're in that situation, sometimes you do just cough the ball up. So scrum down just outside the 22 of Scottish Exile. Scrum going back there, though. It's a great scrum by Scottish. What does the referee say? Yes, and that's a turnover. It's a turnover to Scottish. Well done. Looking to recycle now, get out of their own half. Got some width here. Moving it wide. Goes back inside. Again, moving it to the middle. That's a pretty high, that's around the neck, but the referee hasn't called it, and neither has assistant referee. Looking to move it back. Tom Wilson, he's got some men outside him and he's got a bit of room to move. What's he going to do here? Wilson gives an inside ball. That's great feet. They're now on the 10-yard mark. Scottish working hard. Now into their fifth phase. Storming defence. Storming defence, but that's a high shot. Referee says that's a high shot, and it was. So Tom Wilson decides he's just going to slow it down. Captain of this Scottish side. I think that's very
necessary as well. Again, this panicking or trying to do everything at speed
at 100 miles an hour
is not really helping.
No,
either side, but especially Scottish. You definitely do have some real athletes here, and just get them some space. And the ball and passing does that for you. You don't have to run at 100 miles an hour all the time. So
Tom Barnum to throw it in for Hong Kong Scottish Exiles. Throws it into the back, finds his man. Oh, but it's a loose ball. Wilson, oh, that was clever. That was clever. He kicked, that was a kick pass to his outside player, and he's decided to have a, Tom Barnum it was, and Tom's decided to have a little kick, and he's put pressure on, and we've got something going on here, but that's pretty clever, I've got to say, by the Shogun 10. Quick line speed here. Shogun he's looking for the advantage, and the referee says, yeah, you impeded that player, unfortunately. So that was a pretty good heads-up play from Jacqueline Moses. And here he is again, Moses with the ball in hand, looking to seed it wide, and he does. Gives it to his outside, so we've got some speed here. This man's got some feet. And a good offload. Back inside. So good ball continuity here from Shogun, going towards the line. Moving it again, and that's just too much pace, too much power.
Well, that seemed inevitable to me.
And I think it's Big Roo Campbell. In fact, he might have been the man that did the hamstring, was it? Or no, maybe not, I'm not sure.
No, I don't think so, but they've got a lot of guys that size and that speed.
Yeah, so again, just Shogun showing their class, being able to recycle the ball through phase, going left, going right, putting their big man in the middle, and they're just creating the numbers and the space.
Yeah, it's a sort of lack of awareness by Exiles, I think, because, you know, it was a silly penalty to give away, it was unnecessary, and it can change the, well, possession, but the nature and position on the pitch.
Yeah,
and
so that
it just gave them the opportunity to score.
Yeah, sorry, Don, absolutely. So that takes Shogun out to 22 points to 0 against this Hong Kong Scottish side. I think they're playing for pride now. Ball goes to ground. Shogun again have control, looking to move it wide. No. Moses says no, I'm going back in, and he goes back inside, and they recycle again, but that's good. That's Scottish, good defence by Scottish. And number 6, Roo Campbell. That's great strong carry from him. Moses again moving the ball into the middle, but they're just happy to just bring it back in. Test the Scottish defence, moving them around the park from side to side. The referee says play advantage there. Was it knocked down by Scottish? Not deliberate. Plays the advantage, and Don, that could be the ball game.
Yeah, I think so. I think now they've calmed down and they're feeling the pressure's not so much on them. They're creating the spaces which are creating the tries. So a bit of a good lesson. I think we were right earlier on. They were rushing it too much. Now they look very, very much better. Just taking the time and calming down a bit.
Yeah.
Not much to say about the Exiles, I'm afraid, at this stage.
No. So that try scored by Roo Campbell for Shogun and converted by him as well. That blows the score out 27 Shogun. Taikoo plays Scottish Exiles 0. 2 minutes left in the match. Scottish, what have you got, boys? So restart. Shogun taken, well taken by Exiles as they go to ground, looking to recycle. Get out of here. Wilson, what's he doing? He's just sending his men. Go forward, boys.
I think they want to be scoring, at least getting a consolation try.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be good. Moving it wide, but they're just moving it across the field, and it's a shifting defence by Shogun, and they've stopped that pretty easily. So they need something a little bit different here, Scottish, and they try and look for it, and that's illegal. You can't do that on the ground. Scottish again looking to move this ball. Wilson comes in, but he's pretty easily wrapped up. Well, the Shogun defender there. Scottish trying something different. The kick pass, and it comes off. Now we've got a 2-on-1. Have we? Yes, we do. We've got Tom Barnum taking it up the middle. Now on the 22, Scottish. What do we got? Keep it going, lads. And they get the penalty. They need to keep the momentum going. Don't slow it down. And they don't. Moving it again. Lewisburg takes it to ground. Scottish, close, yes. And we asked for it, and we got it. Number 12, Dean Squires.
In between, what, 3 penalties?
Yeah, I mean, that was a great passage of play, Don. Yes. We've got to give it to them, right?
Yeah.
And look at, and if you look at the Shogun boys, I mean, they are knackered.
They are. You can't see it on the screen, but all of them are bent double. Very pleased that the game is over, I think.
So Taikoo, Hong Kong Taikoo Scottish Exiles get the last play of the game, just as we see here on the screen, doing all the hard work.
Yeah, I think a pretty good game, to be fair.
And going over under the post.
Probably what we expected.
Yeah.
But there've been a few knocks and bruises. I noticed there were several sort of semi-injuries in that match, which may be a bit concerning for later on in the tournament for Shogun.
Yeah, well, I think